Welcome to another edition of Just an Opinion. Today I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite sleepover films. Sleepovers were always a great time growing up. You had your buddies, some junk food, a few video games, and of course the movies that you would watch over and over again. We didn't have all the channels and the streaming services that you have today, and God forbid your parents catch you watching Showtime or Cinemax after 10 o'clock, so you usually had to rely on what you or another friend owned. Sometimes you were lucky and your parents would rent something new, but many of the times you just watched the same films over and over again as it sort of became a tradition with certain people. Some of these films still hold up today, but others hold the distinction of being absolutely terrible, but you loved it growing up. Number 10 is the Garbage Pail Kids movie. As a kid, Garbage Pail Kids were awesome. They were funny, crude, and portable. I still have mine actually organized in a big binder. When a live action film was being released, my friends and I just could not wait.
Hey, put these back! Don't touch things!
This is my turf! My God, it's Cousin Charlie.
So when it came out, we all thought it was great, but there really was no other medium to compare it to. There had always been that long-rumored cartoon series, but that actually didn't get released until I was in my 20s. Watching it now, well, it really doesn't hold up, but it did bring back some fun memories, so I bought it on Blu-ray because I'm a sucker for retrospective special features.
Work it out and do your best. Don't give up on your success. We can do anything by working with each other.
Concentrate on what you do.
Number 9 is Munchies. After the success of Gremlins, there were a number of knockoffs that came out, including Ghoulies, Critters, and this film. I really hadn't heard anything about it when it was released, so I'm still kind of puzzled as to how my parents acquired a copy of it. But my cousin Roman and I loved this movie. You hear the expression, it's so bad, it's good. This film fits that description to a T.
Rudy, how you feeling, man?
Leon, what'd I have to drink last night? I feel sick.
Hey, Rudy, where are we? Look at this kitchen. You ever see such an ugly kitchen? Ugh. Let's go. Come.
With its hilarious voiceovers, the terrible acting, and the overall cheesiness, it can still be enjoyed today if you're looking for some mindless humor.
Head for the hills, mama.
Crazy punks. Let them have guns.
Like it? Let's go, man.
You're gonna pay for this, you furry little wimps. Guess we shot her.
Hey, with the munchies!
Number 8 is The Endless Summer 2. Growing up in Amish country, Pennsylvania, it was an odd choice to watch a surfing documentary, but this is a film that my buddy Ben and I loved.
This is the kind of day you dream about. Just you and your friends, offshore wind, 85-degree water, quality waves, and the nearest parking meter is 800 miles away.
This film is actually very appealing to audiences of multiple genres with its cheesy humor, spectacular cinematography, and really fluid narrative that tells a good story exposing you to many different countries and cultures. This was the dream life, to travel from ocean to ocean as you're sitting there suffering through unbearable winters, living hours from the beach. Number 7 is Gleaming the Cube. Skateboarding was as hot as ever in the late 80s, and wannabes like myself thought we could watch it and replicate all the moves that you saw in this movie. This led to many scrapes and bruises. The film also kind of showed the rebellious side of skateboarding culture in that all the teenagers were skateboarding where they shouldn't be, and we thought it was cool.
Buddy. Yeah. Very nice. Slap that rock. Yeah.
It was also influential not only with the skateboarding itself, but even inspired my group of friends to attempt to dress like skateboarders. That didn't really work out so well, but Christian Slater was the essence of cool in this movie, unlike me. Number 6 is Rad. As Gleam in the Cube did with skateboarding, Rad introduced me to a love of BMX biking, which again led to many scrapes and bruises. Unlike the rebellious side of the previously mentioned film, Rad showcased BMX biking in a lot of regular teenager activities such as delivering the papers, a school dance scene, and a fun chase with a motorcycle cop. Okay, so maybe the last one wasn't a regular teenage activity, but the storyline is very thin, but this film is very enjoyable for its amazing BMX racing and bike tricks. Number 5 is Encino Man. With his unorthodox humor and mannerisms, Pauly Shore was in his prime in the early 90s. This was the Weasel's first starring role and also the debut of Brendan Fraser.
Kashmir, Rajneesh, why don't you just chill?
No buts too.
Link and I are cruising the mountain, bro, and we figure we's a little juice.
No, whizzing the juice. Where's the juice? No, whizzing the juice.
Encino Man is good, mindless fun with MTV-influenced teenagers introducing a literal caveman to California living. This film is loaded with stereotypical depictions of 1990s teenagers, but also has a good message of being proud of who you are without trying to cling on to what is considered cool.
He's not my responsibility. You're the one who wheezed off his gig the whole time because you thought maybe it'd get you somewhere. And now the guy gets a little crusty and you're just gonna bag him. It's not happening, Dave. I'm sorry, that's not how it works with friends, man.
Number 4 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The late 80s saw the hero in a half shell take over the United States with a cartoon and an army of toys that you begged Santa Claus for every Christmas. It was only a matter of time before a live-action film was in the works. With very high expectations, this film actually delivered on many fronts.
You guys must be studying the abridged book of ninja fighting.
Surprisingly, it was actually a little bit grittier than expected. It had some pretty cool fight scenes, conflict amongst the heroes, and it was a big surprise to hear the turtles curse a little bit.
Ninja kick the damn rabbit! Do something!
Unfortunately, the sequels were a little bit too family friendly and a little bit over the top cheesiness. Ninja, ninja, rap, ninja, ninja, rap. You know what I'm talking about. But the first installment can still be enjoyed many times over to this day. Number 3 is The Monster Squad. This film pit the entire Universal monster lot against a group of kids. As a child, I thought this was the coolest concept ever. Hey, where do I sign up? My friends and I wish we could have been part of this Monster Squad.
Okay, we're all here. What's the deal?
Yeah, what the hell's Monster Squad?
It's us. We're the Monster Squad.
Since when?
Since now.
What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
The film was a perfect balance between adolescent humor and some pretty intense scenes. While I watched this film several times growing up, it still holds up to this day, but what I'm actually pretty surprised about is while it did not enjoy some of the mainstream success as some of these other films, it has a very unique cult following.
Kick him in the north! Kick him in the north! He doesn't have north! Do it! Do it! Wolfman's got nards! Come on!
Number 2 is The Lost Boys. While usually films at a sleepover had to be parentally approved, this was a rated R feature that somewhat snuck past the parental guidance needed. The cast had a blend of young and older teenagers, so pretty much when you're watching it, you had somebody that you could idolize. This film was surprisingly released the same month as The Monster Squad, but it enjoyed much more mainstream success.
You miss, sucker.
Once, pal.
Holy shit! It's the attack of Eddie Munster!
Get him!
I feel like what still keeps this film relevant is its timeless soundtrack, which I still believe is one of the best soundtracks ever made. Number 1, is The Goonies. Now, this movie was a staple amongst me and my friends. I honestly can't remember how many times I watched this movie growing up. With my friends, we constantly quoted the dialogue, we acted out all the different characters, and we really wished that we could have been thrown into adventures like this. We even called ourselves the Goonies at certain points.
Mouth.
Hey, Mickey.
Yo, Mikey. Hey, Mikey, seen your dreams.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Get your foot off the table, Mouth.
You got
Friends, you wiggles. How'd he get out?
This movie is one of my favorites from my childhood, and it still remains a classic to this day. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to leave a comment about what some of your favorite sleepover films were. Thank you so much for watching.